Hi everyone, welcome back. Today it's going to be 97 degrees and I wanted to do a little tour of my garden to show you how my garden is doing in this extreme heat. We had a little bit of a respite this past week. It was in the 80s, but now it's back to the 90s and going up to 100 plus. So I wanted to show you how my garden is doing here. And we're going to start with actually the south side garden. And the side of my garden here, where I have my mama aloe and all these sticks on fire. And as you can see, they've greened up really nicely. They're lost all that beautiful color that they get during the winter. And I'm a little concerned about my eucalyptus here, my baby blue eucalyptus. It has gone to flower already, so I'm not going to trim any to preserve him this year. Also because it's not getting a lot of sun because of the canopy of trees, as you just saw. I have plenty of these elephant bush plants, these portulacarias. And as you can see, they were a little bit damaged by the hail we had last year, or at the beginning of the year, was it? And they're doing nicely though. They have a lot of new growth. They're really big, and as you can see, this variety here, there's I think a minima that grows smaller, but this one can become a beast if you put it in the ground. So I have it in these big pots, just like these tiracalis, these sticks on fire. This one's doing okay. I might just leave that one as is, but as soon as this heat is over, I'm going to go ahead and trim this other beast on the side and reset it in the ground, probably because it's just too much. Here you're looking at the African candelabra euphorbias. They are doing great. They're kind of ignored in this little corner here, but they're doing great. They get water, not as much from me, but probably from the other side from the hedge. Here I'm showing you the Aeonium succulents. These were all cuttings. If you saw the video, one or two previous to this one on my channel, you remember me setting these, potting these in this pot, and look at them, they're doing great. I could tell that they've rooted because they are just opening up and beautiful. I put this one here from the other side of the garden. It was doing really bad with the hot sun. It seems to have rebounded. This plant, the Vix plant, just to show you the little ecosystems here on this side of the garden, there's not as many insects because it's doing great. On the other side, the insects were just chomping it. And just to show you, these Aeoniums are doing great here. Some of them were crunching up on the other side. The Stapelia loves it here. It had a lot of mealybug on the other side because it was very stressed. But here it's doing great. All these plants, the Ficus, Elastica, and the Sansevieras that I put outside, for the most part, they're doing great. This Ficus Elastica, I really want to plant it in the ground because I think it would do great. There's a neighbor that has one that looks like a tree, not far from here, but I know that right now it's kind of hot, so yeah, this little arrangement with my Sansevierias is doing great. And yeah, all these, I mean, right now it is summer, so I really don't want to cut them up and do stuff like that, plant stuff. For the most part, it's just being very patient and observing what's going on in your garden. If something is stressed, if something is not liking the heat, move it, cut it, whatever you got to do to save it. But if not, just let it be. This rosemary, we did cut off a big chunk. It was browning up. It does that almost every year. It gets old. Kind of you have to restart it. And there's a new cutting there that's starting beautifully. So for the I might have to cut it up. But as you can see here, the coral aloes are doing good. I put Sansevieria back there. It's not doing too good, but it was kind of an experiment, and it doesn't like the heat, even though it's in the shade. These aloes are doing beautiful. Look at them. These are the babies. Oh, I see a little aloe back there. That's a little crocodile aloe that's a little stressed. And these Rudicope aloes had some alomite. It had a growth, an ugly growth, which I thought was kind of a crest or something going on. And that also happened to my T-Rex. It was not a crest. It was alomite. So I just got rid of it, and I got rid of the bunch that had it on this grouping. So hopefully they'll be okay. Yeah, I thought, what an ugly crest if that's a crest. Yeah, but no, apparently. Insects get creative here. Oh, I wanted to show you this Mertillo cactus, the way it is growing. As you can see, this one is in more sun than the other one. And this one has some sunburn on it. But you could tell how it's giving off those little arms. It is just splitting up from the top and forming those arms. And now let me show you the one that is cresting here. This one has an arm, a beautiful arm, but it has a crest. And it's just gorgeous, beautiful. It's doing great. I'm a little concerned because it's in an area where it might be getting more water than it needs because of the other side. But so far I'm keeping an eye on it. My totem cactus was right here, and it died because too much water from the other side. So yeah, I'm just keeping an eye. Here are the Echeveria, and one of the Sahara Echeverias or Echeveria that I saved. She was over here with the mama, and she was looking very stressed. And oops, I should have taken this one too, because look at it. I had concerns about this one too. I think it just rotted out. At one point, I think it was getting too much water or too little water. Who knows? Either way, this is the result. And, that's so sad. Yeah, we're going to find out what's going on here. Yep. Yeah, that's just like totally desiccated and dead. Yeah, it might have gotten too much heat here. Too little water, but I'm very selective with the water that I give my plants here because of the other side that helps me with the water. So I have to really just be vigilant and adjust it as I need to. So I'm sorry, little Sahara. It was beautiful, but you have casualties every year. This is what happens in a garden. It is constantly evolving. And we were able to save the second Sahara and a bunch of Echeverias that were very stressed in the ground. And that's where touring your garden a few times a week, if you can't do it every day, at least try a few times a week, because the weather is a very big cause of your plants to die or prosper. So you really need to keep an eye on what you need to pull out of the ground and protect in pots and put in a covered area. As you can see, all these pots are doing great. This plant here is in the shade, the little Aeonium in the back. And this other one, this Mertillo, is doing great now here. It is in a pot. It's been in the ground. And see, it's been growing a lot this year, and I've had it for several years already, and it was stunted. It wasn't growing, so I finally found a spot where it likes and in a pot, so it's doing great. My little boxwoods here have been through some stress. If you can tell, there are some crunchy tips, but they do have new growth. And this is a pain because you have to keep watering them a lot, almost every day, because they do require a lot of water. And this is why I love succulents and aloes and sansevierias, because you only have to give them water probably 3 times during the week if they're outside and it's very hot like it is here in Southern California. I mean, we've been having temperatures in the 90s and up to in the low 100s. So yeah, I have to keep an eye. I had to trim my beautiful hydrangea. Had tons of blooms, but it also burnt a little. I pulled it out of where I had it. It got too much sun, and yep, those are the consequences. But it's bouncing back, so love it. This beautiful Sansevieria doing great outside. And my little dwarf olive tree is doing great in the pot. I've been keeping an eye on it, and I do give it more water in the summer because in a pot, again, especially a terracotta pot, they're going to lose a lot of moisture. Oh, I wanted to tell you about these calidopes. I believe I mentioned it, the Aloe. These do not get a crest, apparently. It's Aloe. So if you see some weird formations on them, pull them out because you probably won't be able to save them. But these others are doing great. It was a grouping of 4, and now I have 3, which is just fine. Here you're seeing my Mertillo cactus that is cresting on its own. This one I didn't buy a crest. It was just a regular little Mertillo, and look how gorgeous. Okay, guys. Well, if you guys follow my channel, you have been able to see the evolution of my Opuntias or Opuntia. They were gorgeous. I mean, tall, 10 feet tall, just beautiful. But I've had this problem with association and the overwatering, and they got really sick. They got a bunch of mealybug, and we just had to cut them down and restart a patch of Opuntia this year in a different section of the garden that I know doesn't get that much water. So they're doing great. I was able to save some from the same genus or same mamas and papas because I had given some to my daughter. So I went and I pulled some from over there, brought them here and restarted them, and look at them. They are just taking off. So hopefully these will do a lot better. But oops, I see a little bit of mealybug on there. So, yeah, it's just, they attack your plants. So just some alcohol, some soap, and some water, and that'll take care of it before it becomes a beast. So here you're seeing the Portulacaria mammoth, and this, I have to say, is not one of my favorites. It is kind of striking the way the combination of the color of the stem is and everything, but it just looks a little bit messy, like a bad hair day. And I don't know. I mean, it seems to be doing good there, but we'll see. I did want to show you guys before I end this video that I did plant some veggies this year. Some chilies, bell peppers, and some Maldivar spinach. This cucumber, Japanese cucumber, came out on its own. I guess the seed was in the soil, and it was doing great. I mean, look at all those flowers, just gorgeous, until the leaf miner started attacking it, and it's decimating it. So I think I'm gonna have to cut it out and just like throw it in the bin because poor thing is just being attacked, and it's attacking all the other plants that I planted, which on this side, for some reason, it's just so hard to keep veggies alive. All right, everyone, I wanted to give you one last looky at how beautiful the Tiracali is doing here, and the hummingbird aloes next to my little fountain, and just tell you that summer is upon us, and we just have to deal, people. We have to keep our plants alive. Don't overwater them. Don't underwater them. Just, keep an eye on them. And as you see here, I have this one that I'm going to be pulling because I see it's very stressed. My Perii, Agave Perii, that I replanted, I see that it's either getting too much water or too little water. So I'm going to be pulling that one out, and hopefully I'm able to save it. But here's a last look at my Sahara and the baby that died. So, all right, everyone. I wanted to just thank you so much for watching my videos, and just wish you health and happiness wherever you may be. Get out there and enjoy life. Spread love and light, and Thank you again so much for watching, for subscribing, and welcome to all the new subscribers. All right, everyone. I'll see you guys in the next video. Talk to you later.